Welcome. I'm Johnny Stanton. We have Reginald Perryman and Shaka Williams. We are Tasari. This is There's Something About Real Estate podcast where we talk all things real estate. What up, guys?
What's up?
That ain't what up, though.
I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of this. Sorry, y'all don't have no lender.
You got special guest. You like Ray J.
Yeah. You got to get jumped in.
You right. Like what? You like Ray J from on the Breakfast Club.
What?
You don't watch the Breakfast Club?
What
That's
he do?
an insult.
It's not an insult.
He just a guest.
Well,
he's a reoccurring. You like an honorary host.
I want to be. Okay.
So Ray J not an honorary host.
You better hear the most out of everybody by Friday.
I'm gonna be here every Friday, every other Friday.
I don't care. Remember,
once a month, I'm up in the spot.
So, let's talk about. So we just got done talking on the last episode about down payment assistance, which could go into like an affordable housing space because if those monies are used to buy the house down and the rates and the different things, it can become more and more affordable, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I think Erica had a scenario. Buyer A is shopping for about $80,000.
Yeah,
under 100. Or you say 80 or under.
So
100.
Well, her the pre-approval is 100. I mean, it's 80, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So max payment was $773, right?
Okay.
all
So them
right.
taxes got to be at a certain amount. We don't know what the taxes and the insurance are. It varies. But we're just going to say this is an $80,000 house.
So
Give or take.
This came up because Shaka didn't think it was any homes that can meet lender requirements within that price range.
Not many homes. It's not many homes is what I say, but Johnny is getting ready.
You only need
to-
one.
Yeah, there's some homes. And so one of the
questions.
questions I always ask is like, okay, well, so I need to know, so we're talking about living in Detroit. What side of town? Are we talking about the east side or west side? Or is this a person who doesn't care? They could go
Don't matter for
east
this.
or
All
west.
intents for this.
I'm going to say that.
Well, for the scenario that we're talking about, it don't really
I'm
matter.
trying to answer a question.
Okay, let's just do a west side because she's currently on the west side.
All right. So the reason why I need to know the area is because there are going to be like very specific hubs in Detroit. And so, yeah, on the west side, one that comes top of mind immediately is probably your Finkel 5 mile between Greenfield and South. Well, I would say between Greenfield and Southfield, but definitely east. If you're over there, you're talking about east of Southfield. And you're talking about
that area. That's the area that I brought up.
48228. This house
all right.
is this
48. Is that
your
48227, 48228?
Your buyer got an agent.
No.
All right. So, this house $65,000.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a 2-bedroom, but
Johnny need
maybe
2 bedrooms.
3. But
Let me see.
I came up with 98 homes between 60 and 80,000, and I selected FHA as term. So these homes are all accepting FHA financing. So that means, of course, they're going to accept conventional. And you can go through the photos if you want. And like the kitchen is one of those kitchens. And what I was seeing was in that price range for somebody that's already renting a home, you're probably going to find a home that's probably better than what you're renting in most cases. So, I mean, it's a starter home.
So what if we took that house, we took the conventional homes, spoke to the listing agent and seller and did that idea that you proposed and allowed the FHA. I know, but here's the
they
thing.
Don't even be knowing how to talk to their sellers
I get it,
about
but this is why this is a teachable moment. You know,
but it don't have to be because it sounds like it might be enough FHA homes available for that person to choose from. But there are definitely houses in that price point. You just have to be okay with the area. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to really understand like the quote unquote up and coming because we've been living in Detroit. It's so dilapidated or had been so dilapidated for so long. And it's taken a minute for it to reach like certain blocks.
What Jay Williams say?
Jay
Look for
said
the
follow the
Subarus, right?
Follow the Subarus
and the bike trails.
Yeah.
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 But then sometimes you may have to go just outside of that as well and wait a few years. But I say, I don't know what, I didn't hear that one yet. But I think it's kind of consistent with what we've been talking about. So like if you're seeing pet salons and bike lanes being built, you know something's happening in the area. But I know that I've been a big proponent of, okay, we may not can get, so that would be like your Woodbridge or Corktown.
Right.
So this person that wants to be in Woodbridge or Corktown, they can't go there, but they can go on the other side of 96. Like your 23rd, Hancock, those areas. Because you're still right there, but when people are standing on those blocks, that's over by where that land was, that we was about to buy. That house that was on that land. So when people are standing on those blocks, they're like, oh, you want me to live here? It's a war zone. Are you sure?
Well, here's the reality. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people are already renting in those areas, and when you talk to them about buying, they're like, well, if I'm going to buy somewhere else. But you've been renting for 10 years in the area, and you don't qualify for that higher price point. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be in the area, like this house on Woodingham.
Paying 100% interest.
It's 3 bedrooms, 1,500 square feet, FHA.
What's that, Fitzgerald?
48238 in the 15,000 block of Woodingham. I ain't gonna give it out because I want people to call me and my agents to go see it. But anyway, you can buy this house. It's 80,000. What's the payment roughly gonna be on 80,000 with the rates now?
$750.
I mean, yes.
$750. What are you renting in Detroit? That's 1,500 square feet for $750. Nothing. And you can call Erica and get in with $1,000 investment if you're using the $25,000 down.
Or kind of like the area that we could get ready to buy them 2 houses in that's next door to each other. Like that's kind of what I'm explaining about like a block. It's hard to see it right now, but if you pay real close attention, watch the new roofs and the new windows and the new doors.
But I want to say something. That's my point, and why I'm saying that. We get houses cheaper than homeowners get houses, right? Those 2 houses are not anywhere near what a homeowner could live in, and we're paying $60 whatever $1,000, right? So for an $80,000 house over there, I don't see it.
Yeah, you can. Like, so not too far from over there are some that come to top of mind. They're going to be closer to. So we were on one side of Chalmers. The houses I'm thinking of are going to be closer to like Chandler Park and Outer Drive, right. But so we're buying a 3,000 square foot house and a 2,000 square foot house.
Oh yeah, you ain't getting no far.
But if they buy 1,000 square foot house,
got you. And we ain't looking at. But then even when we were talking about in between, so that area in between Greenfield and Southfield, east of Schoolcraft, that house was
Schoolcraft.
South. Yeah, South. I'm sorry. Yeah, South of Schoolcraft. Mm-hmm. That house was. He ended up selling the house for $85,000.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm not seeing.
But that house is habitable.
No, that house is not passing FHA. That's got leaks all over the place. That is not passing FHA.
I don't remember the house. From the inside, she had. Okay. Well, I thought they had some repair. I thought they repaired that roof.
Right. Conventional ain't even passing that. Conventional gonna come in and say their appraiser gonna come in and say with repairs.
Right. So you're talking about a house that someone can buy under retail, because I think that area we were saying we probably would do good around 165, 175 or so on the ARV. That's after going in there and putting in repairs. But a smaller house over in that same, so that was basically on Metatol.
Okay. Yep.
But if you went, so if you either went a little bit further south, so that's 13,000 block. If you went to the 12,000 block,
you can get under
even the 14,000 block if you go back to it. So it's just certain little hubs. You can still go over there and find a house, but they're not going to probably be very high in square footage. They're probably going to be your standard 900 to 1,200 square foot bungalow or ranch.
Right.
Listen, I got somebody that got a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom over in this is what is this? This is like 7 mile in between Southfield and Greenfield. So what is that over there by your Murray Hill? Like on
and I
Asbury
saw
Park.
That's
one
at
over there.
48227.
$60,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom that needs a complete remodel. So I'm just not
They might be
understanding where we seeing
overpriced.
these.
Did they sell it?
But they had it under contract for 55. So I'm not seeing where. I'm not saying that anything can happen. I'm not saying that there aren't
No,
some.
you think
But that house
I
that you
think you're
sold,
confusing that with area because there are areas where the values are under 100,000 for a home that's in
over
average
there, right there.
good
That area is
condition,
not a
right?
good area. That is not a pleasant area over there. You know what I mean?
48227.
No, it's
that area right there. That specific.
you're not understanding the bigger picture. There are people over in that area rent for $1,000 a month.
Got it.
What I'm saying is they've been living there for years.
For sure.
If they can get into a house that they can own for $1,000 and their payment is going to be $650.
That would be super, but I'm saying that,
and those homes
you can't.
exist.
I'm saying
they
that
do
you can't.
exist.
You got if somebody is trying to sell the house that needs a complete remodel for $60,000, then what do you think that they're trying to sell the house for that you can live in, that you can actually pass FHA?
Well, they have
talking
some.
about.
So Reggie showed you one.
I'm showing you properties. I'm showing you properties that somebody has been living in it. They maintained it. They're not trying to sell it to an investor. It's in an area where the values are only 80,000.
Like
right?
where? Let's
and the
name some
buyer
areas.
gonna come in. I just showed you 98.
Okay, so I walked the
that one
property.
right there was,
I walked the property about 2 weeks ago
that was
on the
missing
east.
a furnace too.
No, it wasn't missing a furnace. They was going to install it prior to closing.
Oh, they
like
wasn't
people do it all the time.
They said it on that one. Send me that one.
So
real quick so I can look
all right,
I just walked the property with the young lady. Her problem is that right now she's living in East English Village.
Right.
So she has more like a 1,800 square foot house, and she's been renting, paying, let's just say under 1,300 because I don't know. So, but as you know, that those houses are no longer 12 or 1,300. And they are no longer in a certain price point. The landlord wants the house back.
Yeah.
So now this person has to move, but she can only afford $70,000. And we found a cute house that was a brick bungalow, and it had a 1-car garage. The siding was decent on the garage. She was gonna need a new garage door. But the roof was good. It had vinyl windows. I don't know how old they were, but they weren't in bad shape. She could move into this house.
In 2024?
And this was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So can you tell me the area?
It's over 94 and Cashew area, but on the nicer block. So her problem was she wants to be in a nice area because she's comparing it to East English.
Right.
So when I took her over here, I understand this block. When you can walk and dip and turn and do a few bends.
Yeah.
And it's very nice, green, a mix of homeowners and renters, but not a lot of vacancies.
Right.
This area is going to be coming faster than, say, one down the block, basically. Right. So this house, but she didn't want to do it. She agreed. She liked the area.
Right.
But she's like, oh, it's too small. And the house had a full. It was about the size of Fielding.
It was smaller than what she was renting.
It was smaller than what she was renting.
Right.
It had a living room. It had a fireplace. It had a full, a decent size dining room for that size house. A larger kitchen. What?
How much you buy Fielding for?
For $30,000.
So let me ask you this. So she's renting out for $1,300.
Yeah.
And she wants something equivalent to that for $1,300.
For 7.
For 70,
she can only afford $70,000. She can't go a penny more.
This is what I'm saying. If she go back in the rental market, looks like she's going to be forced to rent a house if she don't buy. What can she find anything equivalent to that for $1,300?
No.
To the one that she's in right now, or to the 70,000?
To the one that she's in.
Yes,
I'm saying to the one that she's in now.
Not for the area.
No, I'm talking about to the. So
no, not the 70. I'm saying if she choose not to buy because hey, I only qualify for 70. I don't like what's out there, but I'm fine with paying $1,300. But I have a certain taste. I have a certain requirement. I'm used to this. Can she find this?
She gonna be paying $1,300 for the house we looked at for $70,000.
Right. So I'm saying if she goes back in the rental market, she's gonna have the same dilemma.
I don't agree.
She's not gonna be able to find
You can look that up all
house.
day on the MLS.
So, no, so she picky about the area.
1350.
Would you buy a house in
1350.
rehab and rent it over there for 1,300
Yes.
when you know you can get 18?
No, I'm saying for 70,000.
So the other thing about this, but look, the other thing about this particular house, I was about to put an offer in on it. Look, I ran the numbers. I was like, oh shoot, this is a good one for Janita. I could just move a ticket in here. Right. And then I read the agent remarks, low income only.
Yeah.
Investors do not submit offers.
Right. So you're confusing what I'm saying. She's a tenant now. She may not buy because whatever she's seeing doesn't meet her taste or her likings or whatever. But she's going to end up back in the rental market looking for something equivalent to what she has for $1,300, and it doesn't exist because all the landlords over there, the investors, they know those homes are worth $200 plus.
For sure.
So, and if they're going to rent them, they're not going to rent them for the new investors over there aren't going to rent them for $1,300 because they can't afford to.
So you can use Bagley like that. So yes, if you was in Bagley for $1,300 and you are not getting over there for $1,300 anymore.
And that's what I'm saying. So what's
you don't gotta go to, you don't have to go to. I don't know the areas.
But she only qualified
but I know what they
70.
look like when I get there. Yeah, she only qualifies for 70 on a purchase.
Right.
But for rent, I'm sure she's gonna be able to somebody for $1,250, $1,350. I'll let her rent.
Not in Bagley.
But she's not going to get the Bagley. She's not going to get the square footage per that comparable area.
You're missing it. So what I'm saying is she's not going to be renting for $1,350 in that same. So Janita said that, but I don't agree that she's going to be renting in that same area for $1,350 in a $70,000 house.
She is, because that's what I'm charging for building.
Yeah, but you remodeled the entire house. And they remodeled
the house that I told you I did the walkthrough on.
I would like to see it. So what I'm saying is I can't. So
you saying she can go somewhere better for $1,300 than that $70,000
correct.
home.
Like Janita's saying she's renting her house for that amount, but she went and did a full remodel on the house.
But wherever she goes, it's not going to be what what she wants.
I understand, but
so
it ain't
either way, it's
going to
be a step down.
But I'm saying a $70,000 house ain't going to be Fielding. You're not going to be able to buy Fielding rehab for $70,000. You can't.
Yeah, and especially not on that block. But if you take Fielding and move it to the block that she was on, which has not. So if you remember using Fielding as an example, I ran numbers back in the wintertime, and I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out for me. And then I ran numbers like a week ago, and I was like, oh, shoot, I got to hurry up and get my stuff done now while these numbers is reflecting. So, no.
I want to ask Erica something, right? So you have a client, I'm pretty sure you had clients that came to you, they did the application a year or two ago, and they was like, no, we're going to hold off and wait. They come back to you now, and they still qualify, maybe for a little bit less because of rates or whatever. What's their experience like now looking for homes in that same price point?
They can't find a house.
Right. They're not there.
So
they can't.
They are higher.
They
went up. So where is this 80,000?
So the point I'm making is this young lady that you mentioned, she's either going to have to rent, it's going to be a downgrade, or she's going to have to buy, it's going to be a downgrade from what she wants. If she waits a year or two, like we talked about Erica's clients, the downgrade is even going to be that much further apart. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
in that area that was 70,000, she gonna go back over there and be like, "Oh, I could have brought over here, but." You see what I'm saying? We got too much of that going on. I could have brought over here, but.
I get a little offended with that when a person tells me what they're accustomed to, but they can't really afford it. It doesn't make sense to me because I'm sitting here saying, can you really afford $1,300? So if a mortgage company, we're doing off of gross income, right?
Right.
Not net. Mm-hmm. So if you can afford only $700 a month, a $70,000 house, that means you only can qualify for $750. That means she technically can't afford $13,000. So she's living beyond her means anyway.
Period. Most of
these people, they like with the stuff that they like when you're saying you're offended, and I'm in the house with them.
It's just offended,
and they're saying my bed won't fit in here. My bed is this big, and my bed is this high.
We need to start having some realistic conversations, okay, with what you really can afford, because clearly you're renting
That room is too small for my child. How old is your child? Oh, they're 25. They're just spoiled.
Hold on, listen. So y'all saying that there's affordable housing in Detroit?
There's plenty of affordable
There's people
housing
in other countries living their whole.
Oh, here we go. No,
this whole room.
Man,
these people
that is not fair. But they not on
they live
in another country.
They live here in the outskirts of Detroit, kind of close to Ferndale area. I mean, not Ferndale, but kind of close to Fairlane.
Mm-hmm.
Those same people that you're talking about from the other countries, they come in here with that lifestyle too.
Yeah,
and
so what I'm saying is,
couches
but hold on, y'all consider that affordable housing?
No, what we're saying
is
we're saying be reasonable. Just be reasonable, and if you got to sell, matter of fact, my friend Mindy's on here, right? She had this huge house. Hi, Mindy, she's here. And she had this huge house, and she simplified. She sold everything on a garage sale, okay, and simplified. So your buyer needs to simplify and go into where she can buy.
I got a scenario.
And go buy yourself a platform, one of them little beds on the floor, and put your 25-year-old son, your 25-year-old baby, okay, in a room with a twin-size bed or full size, because you can't even afford it. Our debt to income ratio is like 45, 50%.
My dresser don't even fit in here.
Okay, well, you know what? You need to get some floating shelves, man.
So
some Tupperware.
The reality of it is they say it's a lack of affordable housing, but at least in Detroit, there is affordable housing. People are just choosing not to buy what's affordable.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
So I want to hear, I want to give my, so when we say affordable, so that, I think that's kind of unfair, right? So because realistically speaking, if we're talking about a house where you can buy it at $70,000, $80,000, we know that is most likely a bad block, a bad area. In general,
nothing.
But hold on. That's what I'm saying. So if I'm a mother, a single mother, and
why can't be a single father?
Because a single father, I don't think I think it's a little bit different. But it
ain't.
Yeah.
You still gotta protect the babies.
Men and women are not the same.
Still got to protect the babies.
This show is about real estate.
But hold on. but anyway, so, I mean, even in real estate, they're not the same. So, I mean, because a man probably could buy this. What I'm talking about in terms of where a man could possibly buy in this area that I'm talking about, where a woman may not feel safe. Single woman in this area with some abandoned houses, vacant land, ain't shit around here, and you want me to go buy the house because you feel like I can afford it. I'm not saying
buy that block. There's other options.
But hold on, I'd rather go overspend somewhere. And maybe I technically I can't afford it, but I feel safer over here. So now I'm about to go spend over here. So now you're saying that I'm not. There is affordable housing, but in where? Like who the hell want to live over there?
Oh my God!
Yeah, so we just agreed that the client that I was working with. She agreed that this particular house, as an example, was a nice block, nicer area.
Mm-hmm. She just didn't like the house.
She didn't like the size of the house. Mm-hmm. And the house had literally all of the things you need. 3 bedrooms, a basement, a garage, a living room, and a dining room. And you could get a little table in the kitchen.
And it's a nice block.
Yeah.
And nicer block than where she's...
So here's what...
I think she's going to be able to afford it.
See, I'm talking from... certain clients that I dealt with experience, they're already renting in this area. Mm-hmm. Their mindset is, when I'm ready to buy, I'm going to buy elsewhere because I already live here. The problem is you can't qualify to buy elsewhere. You qualify to buy in a similar area that you're already renting in. Your rent is $1,000. Your mortgage payment is going to be $700. Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm going to buy, I want something bigger or I want something nicer. Nicer meaning area or nicer meaning house? Well, there's nicer homes in your area already. So I'm not saying somebody's making a downgrade on area because they're already there. Right?
So Bagley would be a good example of that. But go ahead.
Right. So if you got somebody renting in Bagley,
you gonna look at it?
And they don't qualify to buy in Bagley, right? And then they go back out in the rental market and rents have increased, but I can buy in Fitzgerald. Is that a bad decision?
Right. So
it's still a good area, right?
But the crazy thing is, I won't even buy in Fitzgerald right now.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who aren't me that would. But this area, I would buy in.
Hold on, but he was saying something. So I agree with what you're saying because Bagley is just that. Like, so you hear a lot of people saying, so I'm not from Detroit, right? So I'm only speaking from an investor and what I see. Yes,
That's
yes. Yep.
but see, that's
but hold on, but listen.
right.
So when you go to Bagley and I tell somebody, oh yeah, this house is about to sell for $250, somebody that's from Detroit is like, what? Buy a house in Bagley for $250,000? You crazy.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, where else you gonna go and get a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, 1.5 to 2-bathroom house for $250? Or with a brick with 15 to 16, 1,700 square feet. Where else you going?
Not many places at all.
Right?
Right.
So I get exactly what it is you're saying, but I don't agree that. So I still feel like we got a lack of affordable housing because now you got to go in here and war zone. Y'all talking about somebody could go
not war
like
zones
what's
we
that area
talking
over
about.
there?
We talking about areas where people are already homeowners and renters.
That's the area you talking about right there. Is that an area
buying.
that we can look at on a map?
So here's the thing about home ownership, right?
Mhm.
If you look, let's just take the past 20 years, right? Or even let's say the past 10 years. Let's go back to 14 when the market really just started rebounding and taking off, right? The people that benefited the most from the housing market were people that already owned homes. If you brought in 14 in any area, Detroit, suburbs, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sold that house in 2019, 2020. We all agree you was up quite a bit. In some areas, you might have doubled your money, right?
More than that.
Then you came back out and you brought another house and you was competing with people and somebody was like, oh, I'm going to go 5,000 over. Well, you had 50,000 extra dollars to put in. So you like, I'm going to go 10,000 over because I didn't earn that money. It was money appreciated in value, right? But then you got these first-time buyers that come into the market competing with you. How are they going to compete with that? So what I'm saying is sometimes we have to make a logical decision to say, where's my starting point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the longer you wait in a rental, and I'm not saying home ownership is for everybody. Some people lifestyle, what they got going on, they don't need to do it at this moment. But the longer you put it off, the further behind the ball you're going to be because you're competing with people that's building equity. They're selling. They got 50, 80, 100,000 to go into their next property. And that's the issue. That's where all the extra money came from because all the people that brought in 2010 to 2012 for 20 and 30, them homes worth 180. How you going to compete with somebody like that?
I think it depends on the person and what they're dealing with. So some people may be in school. So yeah, if you're a person, if you're a grown-ass person out here and you maxed out already and you just got a dead-end job, then yeah, what you're saying I agree with. But if I'm somebody that's young or younger and I'm better in my life and I'm going to do something that's going to increase my income so that I can compete, then no, I don't agree with that.
Or you might not even want to stand in the state. I get that. That's why I said it's not for everybody at this moment in their life. But what I'm saying is the longer you wait, the further behind you're going to be with people that's already in a home ownership game. Because that's the domino effect of all of this. You probably got clients that came to you already that didn't refinance, and you look at how much equity they got. We got clients that bought 3 years ago and they're reselling already.
I don't agree with that though. I feel like you buy the house when you can afford to buy the house that you want. Or that you can afford. Hold on, I'm telling you why. I totally. I don't think I would like to hear. Let's go over stories about our first houses that we bought.
I know a lot of people that
I'm talking about us. Let's talk about our house. Let's talk about the first home that each one of us purchased, and let's talk about them and see where they were, the areas that they were. What did you consider the area to be?
I had investment properties before my own property.
Same.
So
But my first house
the
first home I bought for my house. I'm talking about the first home you bought for you.
Right.
Let's talk about that because you
Why
probably
can't we just do starter homes? What is wrong with the starter home?
Hold on, but
What
listen.
is wrong with the starter home?
He's giving an example. Hold on. His example. Listen, he said he had investment properties before he had his first home. There's a reason why.
Reggie's been doing real estate
but
since
hold
he was
on,
10.
listen. You're missing the point. Y'all missing the point. Why did you buy investment homes before you bought your first house?
Because it was just simple.
Because he could afford it. Because
there.
he could afford the houses in the area where he did not want to live at. But somebody else had to live there and he could rent it out.
But he didn't want to live there. But you're missing the point. I'm talking from the general public that's not a real estate professional. I've dealt with many clients that did the stair step. They brought their starter home, Moraine Ross area, 3-bedroom brick bungalow, 1,100 square feet. They brought it for $35,000. They come back several years later, they sell it for $65,000, $70,000. Then they buy in East Point. Then next thing you know, they selling that house. They got $50,000, $60,000. Then they go buy in Sterling Heights or something. It's a stair step, and you look at a 10 to 12 year time period. Now they're in their dream home. What's wrong with that?
Great scenario for that. Great scenario for them.
They were starting a family at the smaller house. They moved up. Now they there. Now they about to retire and sell this home. They got $200,000.
Great scenario for them. But so I think what we got to be careful of is
telling. All of that.
No, like, I said it's a great scenario for them.
So many people.
But we got to be careful on what we're saying, because that's what people think. That's why we got what we got going on right now. That's why people are not buying, because everybody feeling like, oh shit, I missed out. I missed out on buying because I should have bought back in when they had the interest rates at 3%.
Well,
now I ain't buying at 3% because the interest rates is at 8%. And now that's my point.
It's still a good time now. But that's what I'm saying. Buy the $70,000 house.
You're gonna keep getting left behind.
You're not ever getting left behind. You're not getting left behind.
All right, this woman is gonna get left behind. Period.
This house definitely is going to appreciate. This one in particular. It's definitely going to appreciate. So right now, if this person who actually needs to make a move for a certain price point and wants a good house that's going to appreciate, and yeah, I'm saying it, I'm projecting that it's going to happen. But appreciate with minimum, like not doing much, just for holding the house.
Hold on, but don't we agree that all homes typically appreciate?
They do.
On average, we can't say that because history is showing us different.
But I'm saying on average.
Over time,
they still come back.
They pretty much come back. But when you have people who want to, people are still going to always feel like that. So it is always the right time to buy. I am a big proponent of buying real estate. But when you have a person that's in the situation and they need affordable housing, and then they have something that is checks all the boxes outside of maybe one thing or two things, then maybe they should.
What if the one thing or the two thing is safety?
What it wasn't in this situation. You keep adding that as if that's
she liked the area.
We said that several times in this particular scenario. So yeah, I would never suggest to a person that they move in a place that doesn't feel safe. A lot of times, if I'm with a client and we pull on to a block, I tell my clients all the time, if we pull up someplace, do not worry about sparing my feelings. Let me know, because we can keep on driving. If you don't feel safe, and also if I don't feel safe, we can keep on driving.
I got to ask this question because I'm not from Detroit, but y'all Detroiters answer this question. So when you buying $80,000 houses, do you feel like those are the most safe feeling areas?
It depends on the block.
Depends on where it is. So this house that I'm using as an example, I would buy that house and live in it right now.
All $80,000.
And it also reminds me of my first house.
All $80,000 areas are not equal. There are some that I would be like, yeah, this is equivalent to somewhere where I would live. But then there's some, like, I ain't moving over here for $80,000. I'd rather go. But this is what I'm saying. Would you move over there for
$40,000?
But no,
it's exactly.
I'm about at 80,000, right? And the other part of town.
I think you're arguing a point that nobody's objecting to.
Here's what I'm saying. The question was, is there affordable housing still? Yes, there are options out there for people. And like she liked the area, she don't like the house. The point I'm making is, if you like the area and the house meets all your bare minimum needs, maybe this is just your starter home, right? And we have to have a reality check with ourselves. Like, where do we start? We're not going to start up here. Some of us have to start down here and stair step our way up. That's all I'm saying. You have an option. When are you going to take that option?
Yeah, it's this and it's the mindset that you deal with certain people and certain income classes and all of the things they deal with. You know, I'm dealing with people saying, well, I'll live in a hotel first. Right. Wait a minute. So you're going to pass up the 3-bedroom house with the garage in the basement and move. Well, what were your two 25-year-olds sleep in with your king size bed that you have to jump into from a trampoline? Like, I don't understand.
That's just it.
I had a client that said the backyard wasn't big enough for a dog, and I get it. I appreciate dog lovers, animal lovers, and all of that. But their decision on buying a home was based on the size of the backyard for their dog. Not that it didn't have a backyard, and not that it wasn't room enough for the dog. It just wasn't big enough to what the dog was used to. So what I'm saying is everybody has different requirements. But all I'm saying is there are options out there. Some people are just not choosing the option because there's this one thing. My bed don't fit in this bedroom, or the bedroom is too small. Well, what's your other option? There are none, right?
You better
but
sell
it's
that
still
bed
affordable.
on Marketplace
You said
and go
sell
get
it
you a
and go
bed.
get a
Right.
twin size bed.
No, I'm
Girl.
just saying they've got these cute little things that work fine to maximize space.
Right.
Right? So you get what I'm saying? You see the maximize space. Go to IKEA.
You know what
whatever.
maximizes space for these type of people
Yes.
that need lower priced houses in decent areas? Bungalows.
Mm-hmm.
Bungalows work.
Big time. Yeah.
And
Yeah, 'cause you had a
this
huge
particular person.
upstairs.
So some people, and I think as agents, I'm only spending so much time with you as well.
Right.
So you get 1 to 1.5 showings out of me when you only have limited options. When
Right.
your options are limited, because it's only a certain amount of houses, probably 4 or 5, that meet your buy box.
Right.
And so no, I'm not gonna keep on doing it. You may just go live in the hotel room.
I mean,
and spend how much are you gonna pay doing that?
Well, I know one that does monthly for $1,600 a month.
See what I'm saying?
What monthly? What?
They'll
And how
let
many
you.
rooms
They'll
is
let
that?
you rent monthly. It's like
Oh.
a suite.
A
It's got
suite.
the kitchen and stuff in there.
Oh,
the
yeah, you're
kitchen
talking
that.
about.
Does it
The
have more than one
1,600.
bedroom?
No, it's just the one
Okay.
bedroom. It got the fold out sofa, but
But
it's $1,600 a month. You're not paying utilities. You're not paying internet.
What area
You're
is that
paying-
in? Are they
It's
going
in
to feel safe?
Southfield.
Is it a safe hotel in
Yes,
Southfield?
Yes,
it
in
is,
Southfield.
yes.
It's right off Telegraph.
Where at?
It's-
Where's not? Where's that? Tell me
It's-
where.
But I mean, it's
Hotels
safe.
in South-
It's safe.
Where
It's
you
as
in
safe
Southfield where you don't
as-
feel safe?
Okay, so when you on 696,
Wait, hold on.
remember
I'm
them?
telling you,
Okay,
this
go
is as safe as a $300,000 home in Southfield. So I mean, it's Southfield safe.
Yeah.
Whatever
That's what
you
I want to know.
consider
What this
Southfield.
area in Southfield.
Anyway,
Where by the Marvin Gardens?
But anyway, what I'm saying is there's options out there for
That's the place. That's
affordable
Farmington?
options for people. They just got to choose what they like. But sometimes your
The big brown
requirements
building?
may be higher than what
I
you
mean,
can
Marvin
afford.
Gardens is a
That's just the
hotel,
bottom line.
but then by the Marvin Gardens, you know that big building when you're on 696, like the Brewsters, but it's in Southfield, the brown one?
Yeah,
It's
that's
an apartment complex.
Yeah, it's the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would never go over there. I was trying to
Yeah.
get him to buy a condo
I know somebody.
3 years ago for a rental property in Southfield, and he was like, no, never. Why would I?
Yeah, but I didn't feel unsafe over there. But it just wasn't an area I wanted to invest in.
Right.
But
Them same people that was living in that building is the same people that's living on the areas of Detroit that you feel like are not safe.
Nah, so I'm talking about. So I be in certain
They
areas in
kids be
Detroit.
Them
coming
people
over there.
moved over there to get in Southfield
Huh?
schools and save on car insurance.
Right. And it's safer.
You saving
Yeah.
on car
And that's
insurance
why
in
you're doing
Southfield?
it. Yes.
Is it lower in Southfield?
Compared to Detroit?
Car insurance?
What?
Are you sure?
I'd say that's kind of.
So
common.
we
Sorry,
agree there
we
are
digress.
affordable housing options, right?
Yeah, so
do you see that on the loans you're doing? Like when you got clients and they're out shopping and you get the offer and you see the appraisal.
I think that if I can be honest here, they're very unrealistic.
Right.
And for the life of me, I don't get it. I'm like you, when I was processing 10 to like 13, I was processing loans and I was processing mortgages for people that lived out, was at Chesterfield area out that
Right.
way. They were always buying. You could see them leaving East Point or Harper Woods or whatever these little starter homes, doing what you said.
Right.
And they weren't making any more money.
Right.
Okay. You're thinking they're making more money. They were still making $12 and $15 an hour. And it was 2. and they would take that house and the equity, $50,000 or $100,000, and they would go buy. Finally, they can buy just this decent house that's out in Chesterfield.
Right.
I think that it's just everybody is very unrealistic and
like they want to skip
entitled
steps.
And they want to skip, and it's ridiculous. Right. You're renting. You only make $15, $16 an hour. You're telling me the max you want to pay is $750, $850.
We need to go on the road.
I'm just
we need
confused.
To go out. We need to go out in the field.
I'm just confused.
I'm in the field all
day. No, I'm talking about we need to take the audience out in the field so that we can talk about it.
I can only afford $850 a month.
Take us to the field.
Take us to the field. $850 a month.
Not the cotton field, though.
Well, that's a $80,000, $90,000 house. I'm not going to find anything.
I can't wait I want to go out with y'all because I
want to go see this house.
I think what's going to happen. I want to hear. I think maybe what we're running into is because y'all from Detroit. Because this happens for me too. Because I'm from Pontiac, right? So there are areas in Pontiac where people that come in and they like what they don't feel safe, right? But I'm from here, so this is normal. Whatever is going on over there, I'm cool.
So
right?
what do 80,000 get you in Pontiac? Can you get
no more?
Not no more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying,
was it
a time when 80,000 would have got you a decent house in Pontiac?
Yes.
In a decent part of Pontiac?
Yes.
So if I was renting and you showed me that house and I was like, no, I ain't buying this back then. And I was like, no, I'm not buying that. And you was like, but you paying $1,000 a month to rent, right? Do you think I missed out on an opportunity owning one of them homes at $80,000 compared to what it's worth now?
So yeah, so I can say that now because I have information. I had the data to say, but that's not a guarantee. So what I'm saying is that's not fair because that's not
but
factual.
Outside of Detroit, okay, hold on.
It's not factual.
Young lady, I did a deal. Now I'm thinking about it. Okay, I did a deal 2 months ago. She purchased in Inkster.
Oh yeah,
an $85,000 house, and it was cute.
Right.
And guess what? She got down payment assistance too.
And now them properties gonna be here in a minute.
And guess
too.
what?
They will arrive.
And guess what? That was $21,000 on that little 85, 90,000, and she was happy.
I got a super success story with a young couple. They
just may need to buy in other cities. Okay, so does Michigan have affordable housing? Yeah,
and so does Detroit.
But
the whole thing is, like you're saying, Detroit, I don't think that we're trying to sell people on the safety of Detroit.
I'm not even. I'm just saying that So I feel like if I was buying in those price points, I would be moving to Detroit. Like if I had to choose between like Inkster, Lincoln Park, Ecorse, and all that stuff, I would go to Detroit. So me personally. So, but I'm saying that yes, y'all, you can find some stuff, but there is not enough of it. So that we do. That's why we do have an issue with affordable housing. It's a real thing. Like the issue is not fake. It's for real. You know, that's why you got the DPA program. You know what I mean? They're trying to make buying homes affordable. You know what I mean? You don't need a $25,000, $35,000 program for a $70,000 house. You need that to buy a $150,000 house because those are the areas that is where homeowners want to buy. In them $70,000 areas y'all talking about, those are renters. Those are not typically homeowners. So
until people start buying them.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's affordable options to start your home ownership journey. That's all I'm saying. And everybody starts somewhere.
Ready to take it off the market. Let me buy it.
Right, and they stair step. You know what I'm saying? And I've done and worked with plenty of clients where that scenario has worked for them, and I dealt with clients that stayed in that same house and they sold it and they didn't buy again.
But then let's talk about it too, because we only got a couple minutes left. So to answer your question, we ain't gonna go through everybody, but my first house was 7 Mile and Mound. It was a fixer-upper. I had the resources to be able to do the fixing up. But if you went over there right now, you probably would not want to live there. My second house after that was 8 Mile and Southfield, little brick bungalow, similar to the one that I'm talking about with this lady. I paid $60, $65 for the house. Same thing. I went in there and did some renovations. And then my first, I think my second investment property, like as far as a cash flow rental, was right across the street from that house. So I'm not sure where you were getting to, but I'm one of them people like, so I still love Detroit. I would move back to Detroit. It's just that what I have now, you can't get in Detroit. You can't really find 2 acres of land in Detroit.
What I'm getting at is that, so I'm similar to Reggie. I bought rental homes before I bought my first house because I could buy rental homes for cheap in these areas that y'all saying are affordable housing, but where I did not want to live. I understand. Like, so one thing about real estate, everybody has to live somewhere, right? But don't mean that I gotta live there because maybe I don't want to live there, right? And y'all trying to say that, well, you can't afford it, so you should start there and stair step. And there's different ways to stair step is all I'm saying too, right?
You want to know something that's
stair stepping in one instance of what you said, what you suggested. Another one is, like I said, for me, I was a college student, you know what I mean? I was getting my degree. And so that's another way of stair stepping, right? Another way is doing what Janita did as an investor. Same thing me and you did as investors. Because I owned like probably like 15 houses before I bought my first house.
Right.
My house. I was renting the whole time. But I had 15 other homes, and I would not have lived in any of those areas. And I was paying rent, 100% interest in rent, right? To stay where I wanted to stay because I felt comfortable there and I felt good with my son going to school in that area.
I was comfortable in the hood. So anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a wrap.
Well.